You're watching part of our STROKESTRA at Home series, bringing you fun, music-based activities from our award-winning STROKESTRA program.
Hello to all our friends up in Hull. This is a video about active listening. And my name's Fraser. I'm a bassoonist in the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and I'm joined today by my friend Sonia.
Hi, I'm a clarinettist in the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and this is my dog, Sophie, who's going to join us for the listening today. She loves listening to music.
We'd just like to talk to you about some of the benefits to sitting down and actively listening. The listening can really improve your memory and can improve your attention, as well as helping to reduce anxiety you might have. But it can be difficult to remain focused during a long period of time to listening, and we thought we would Sophie off, and we thought we would choose one of our favourite pieces of music and take you on a little guided tour, as it were.
We thought we would listen to the second movement of Dvořák's Symphony No.9.
The first thing we're going to listen out for is the opening of the piece of music, where we have some really interesting quiet chords, and they're played by the low brass instruments, in fact all the brass instruments, and this is sort of a bit like the curtains opening on our story. It's an amazing sort of atmospheric opening to the piece, I think.
I agree. Yes, I think it's sort of like if you're reading a story, it's the once upon a time, just sort of setting the stage for what's to come. And then we get this beautiful melody, which is performed by the cor anglais, which is the lowest member of the oboe section. And this cor anglais plays this beautiful, long melody. And to me, it sounds a little bit nostalgic.
Yeah, I think the instrument has been chosen perfectly for this piece, and it will be familiar to you because it's well known for being the Hovis tune used in that famous bread advert all those years ago, and I bet most of you will remember it. We don't want to give the game away too much, so we're not going to let you listen to the rest of it. But that tune is very long, and you get to hear it quite a few times.
Yeah, I think in this passage, what might help as well is just sort of to close your eyes and sit back and just see what you think, see what emotions you get from listening to that tune. And just listen to the lush sounds of the strings that are playing underneath that melody.
Some people think of colours when they're listening to music, and you could maybe think what colour it makes you think of. Then there's a slight change of mood, and we're going to point out a couple of things to listen out for. I think one of the next bits to listen out for is this very beautiful melody that is played by two instruments together, the flute and the oboe. And I think that because they're playing exactly the same thing, it almost sounds like just one new, totally different instrument, which I would like to call the flobo. It has a completely different mood.
Yeah, I agree. Sounds to me like in the music we've turned a corner and we're onto something completely different. Maybe a change in season. To me, the core melody sounds really lush, like we're out in the countryside and it's green and beautiful, and then when we turn the corner it's a bit sort of windy, leaves are blowing in the wind, and maybe it's a bit chillier, and yeah, when I think of a color, maybe more sort of grays and silver.
I've given you a cliffhanger. What happens next?
Well then, to me, it's one of the best parts of this movement, and I'm a bit biased because it's a clarinet duet. You could listen out for the smooth, long melodies in the clarinet, and then the contrast of the double basses who are playing pizzicato or plucking on the instrument, and it sounds sort of like they're tiptoeing along.
and it develops from there. After that, we sort of are taken into a completely different mood entirely. And maybe what we're about to hear is bright orange and spring.
Yeah, I think the passage just before that is just sort of dark and gloomy, and then suddenly the oboe comes in with this chirpy melody, and it just sounds like spring has sprung.
So as you can hear, the music at this point is starting to get very exciting and really intense, actually, after this chirpy oboe tune. And of course the oboe starts it, and then the flute joins in, and the clarinets, and it definitely makes me sit up and feel chirpy.
Yeah, and actually this passage leads us to a climax where the brass section come in again, and they've actually just been sitting there waiting to play since the opening 8 bars. This climax takes us back to the original core theme, and we won't play it for you now, but when it does come back, just have a listen and see if it feels different to you the second time you hear it.
We've talked too much, haven't we, I think?
Yeah. I think before we send you off to listen to this movement, maybe we could give you a few tips for listening on your own, some of which we already discussed, but close your eyes and try not to have too many distractions around if possible.
You could sit down with a cup of tea.
Yes, definitely.
You could listen with somebody. And discuss what you've listened to with them.
Maybe most importantly, there are no rules in listening to music, so everyone has their own opinion, and that's actually great. So we really hope that you enjoy and have a relaxing experience.
Yes, thank you for listening.